I did lay some accusations against him of being flirtatious towards me.
After the newspapers published my evidence, Natasha deleted all traces of her accusation.
So let me state right off the bat that both Senator Akpabio and Senator Natasha have very little credibility on sexual harassment allegations. Senator Akpabio has been accused of sexual harassment in the past at least once or twice, although I must add that those allegations were without evidence.
I'm the only Ogoni woman, the only Nigerian woman that has slapped his face.
Why did you slap him? Why did you slap him?
Slapped him because...
And who can ever forget when Natasha Akpoti accused Reno Omokri of sexually abusing her, which of course turned out to be false.
I did lay some accusations against him of being flirtatious towards me at the May 2014 state banquet dinner held in honor of President Uhuru Kenyatta, which of course led to the signing of the bilateral agreement between Kenya and Nigeria. Now, Mr. Reno Omokri debunked my accusation, saying that he wasn't even in the country on that day. He went as far as saying he wasn't in Nigeria for the whole of May and the better part of June. And he went forth to put out pages of his international passport, especially those that contained stamps, which he leans on to bolster his claim. So according to his post, he said, I might have seen his ghost, and his ghost might have been the one that made the advances towards me. But you see, my fellow Nigerians, I'm here to let Mr. Reno Omokri know that we are not as gullible and as stupid as he thinks we are. And I would like to call on the expertise of the Nigerian immigration officers to kindly join in clarifying the stamps in his passport. I have made a printout of his passport page, as you can see. I hope it's clear enough. This is his biodata page, and here is the page with the 3 stamps. Now, Mr. Reno said that he left Nigeria on the 28th of April 2014 and returned on the 23rd of June 2014. Many people believed what he said. Should I say, few people believed what he said. Because indeed, there is a stamp showing 23rd of June 2014. But if you are a traveler and you have traveled outside Nigeria, you realize that there are 2 stamps that the Nigerian immigration usually issues. One is that which is stamped for travelers leaving Nigeria, which has the SOD, meaning seen on departure. And the other stamp, which is issued for travelers arriving in Nigeria, and it has the SOA stamp, which is seen on arrival. So let's see what stamp Mr. Reno Omokri's, what date Mr. Reno Omokri's stamp of the 23rd of June has. What does it carry? On top here, you will see SOD, which means on the 23rd of June 2014, Mr. Reno Omokri departed Nigeria. He traveled out of Nigeria. Mr. Reno Omokri did not arrive in Nigeria on the 23rd of June. He left Nigeria. The upper stamp you see here is 23rd of July 2014, and it has SOA, which means seen on arrival. It means Mr. Reno Omokri was in Nigeria on the 23rd, in Nigeria on the 22nd, in Nigeria a week before, a month before. And that means Mr. Reno Omokri was present in May at the dinner, because I know I saw him, and he only traveled outside the shores of Nigeria on the 23rd of June 2014 because it was stamped SOD, seen on departure. He spent a month on holiday and then returned to the country on the 23rd of July. It's here. The immigration officers would not be stupid enough to make a silly mistake and swap the stamps. Now also you might ask, what about the April 28 American stamp, which he says proves his entry? Now this is actually a parole stamp, which can stand as a parole visa. Now this is not a regular stamp that is given to visitors who are entering the United States of America. A parole visa, which your Google search can help you, is given to people who are on the watch list, sometimes people who are on the terrorist list, people who are not visitors, who are not free, who don't have the liberty to stay in America without being monitored closely by the immigration officers and police. That is when they are issued the parole visa. I don't know what offenses Mr. Reno Omokri might have committed there, but this parole visa, even though it's a 2-year visa, 2-year stamp, even though it holds April 28, 2014, valid till 16 July 2016, it doesn't mean he stayed there that long. It doesn't mean that he stayed there for 1 month or 2 months. It could mean that he entered America, spent 1 day, spent 2 days, however it is. He definitely returned to Nigeria.
Now, 3 or 4 years down the line, Reno Omokri is back again with those receipts that conclusively prove that Natasha Akpoti may have lied at the time.
On Tuesday, October 12, 2021, Natasha Akpoti had a dispute with me. And after the dispute, she went on social media and accused me of sexually harassing her. She claimed that at a state banquet at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa held by President Goodluck Jonathan for the visiting Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta on Tuesday, May 6, 2014, I had sexually harassed her. Now the thing is, a month before, the Chibok girls had been abducted. And as one of his presidential spokesmen, President Jonathan sent me to the United States as a special envoy to try to clean up Nigeria's image. I left in April and I wasn't back in Nigeria until the end of May. So obviously, Natasha Akpoti lied. So what I did, I went on social media and I published my passport stamp with my passport leaving Nigeria and then entering the United States, showing the stamps. And I also published a first-class British Airways ticket showing that I left Nigeria for the United Kingdom and from the United Kingdom to the United States, and I wasn't in Nigeria throughout the time when Natasha Akpoti accused me. So she obviously lied. So what happened is that after the newspapers published my evidence, Natasha deleted all traces of her accusation. She deleted everything. She had made a video insulting me and my wife and my newborn daughter. She also deleted that. The next day, I got a phone call from a prominent Christian clergyman. And they felt that, okay, as a fellow pastor, I would listen to a member of the body of Christ. This is a senior member of the body of Christ. He called me on three-way with Emmanuel Orisejolomi Akpoti, I think Uduaha rather. Emmanuel Orisejolomi Uduaha, Natasha Akpoti's present husband. And they appealed to me, they quoted the scriptural references about Christians taking each other to court. And I listened to them. And we settled the matter out of court. I was paid a large amount of money as damages. And I let the matter go. So, fast forward, 4 years later, Natasha Akpoti had a dispute with the Senate President. And then, after that dispute, she went on Arise TV and accused him of sexual harassment. It sounds like deja vu. Now, the thing is, I do not know if those allegations are true. But one thing I know is that Natasha Akpoti is a liar, a known liar. So, here's the thing. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Before Nigerians crucify Senator Godswill Akpabio, I would encourage people like Obi Ezekwesili and others now agitating to ask Natasha Akpoti to take a lie detector test. It's very easy. Take a lie detector test. Come out, take the test, be escorted by one senator that is in your support and another senator that is just objective. Or if you don't want that, then you can actually go with Obi Ezekwesili herself. And then a third party, maybe somebody from CAN or from the National Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs or some other objective body. Do a lie detector test. Because if you think about what happened to me, if I didn't have the ticket and my passport stamp and even videos and photographs of me in the State Department in Washington and later at my son's school in San Francisco, everybody would have believed that I sexually harassed Natasha Akpoti. So because I had evidence, she retracted her false allegations and deleted every trace of them. Now, just assume that I'm lying. Just Google Natasha Akpoti accuses Reno Omokri and just read about the facts. It was carried by Punch, Guardian, Vanguard, even this day. So the thing is, I don't know if what she's saying right now is true. But until she takes a lie detector test, the presumption is that she is acting on her past behavior.
Now, I agree with most of what you just heard him say there now. But the lie detector part, nah, not for me. And the reason is simple. First and foremost, the lie detector machine is junk science as far as I'm concerned, and pretty much unreliable. Furthermore, the practice of using a lie detector is alien to law enforcement in Nigeria. Can you imagine the Nigerian police force conducting a lie detector test on you? Your guess is as good as mine what that would look like. And second of all, I have seen people who are bloody liars pass a lie detector test. So please, let's not begin to act as though the lie detector machine is foolproof. And above all, there's a reason why developed countries like the United States and many others don't accept the result of a lie detector test. In other words, the result of a lie detector test is not admissible in courts. So now that Reno Omokri has provided more evidence about what transpired 3 years ago, or was it 4 years ago, between himself and Natasha Akpoti, the least I expect from Ms. Akpoti is to disprove these claims. So, Princess of the Senate, it's over to you. Did Reno lie here that you paid him a huge amount of money? And was there ever a conversation between him and the people he mentioned? And before you respond, please, think carefully, because Reno may have not only recorded the conversation, he may also have receipts of how he collected the money you allegedly paid, or should I say, was allegedly paid on your behalf. So be careful. By the way, isn't it interesting that someone who had the grace and discipline to control herself in this situation?
Many people do not know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to speak my own truth. It all started on the 8th of December, 2023, which was a day before his birthday and my birthday. We are birthday mates. We were all in Akwa Ibom because he had a big fanfare in the stadium. Myself, my husband, and a few of his close friends, we went to Akwa Ibom. And at first, we were at Ikot Ekpene. We were in his house in Ikot Ekpene. Then we all moved to his house in Uyo, which was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, just 3 of us. We're walking around from room to room. He showed me the beautiful interior. This was done by this, by that, this designer here, he bought this from us. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I noticed that he hastened his pace while still holding my hand. And my husband was behind, still on his phone, but he was catching up whenever he could. And then he got to this particular sitting room, and he said, do you like my house? I said, of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste. He said, now that you're a senator, I'm going to create a time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it. At that point, I just pulled away, and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. But then my husband now, when I turned around, I saw my husband was already near me. And the way my husband looked at me and looked at him, I was beginning to wonder, did he hear part of that inciting statements or not? And then the Senate President, too, I saw that he also had that thought, like, did my husband hear the invitation to treat or not? So then the Senate President now said, oh, by the way, let me show you my chapel. He has a chapel in his house as well. So while we were going to the chapel, you know, we walked in silence and all. So that evening, before we left the Senate President's house at about 11 midnight to the 4 points in Ikot Ekpene. And my husband asked me, Natasha, what did the Senate President whisper to you? What's he telling you? I thought, should I tell him that he was speaking about bringing me in here at a special time for us to have a good time? Or should I just kill it there, just, wrap it as if there was nothing, because tomorrow was a big day. I know how much my husband adores the Senate President. He loves him as a brother. My husband would do anything to support him. So I told my husband, nothing. I can't remember what I created, but I just gave him some words to manage, to mask what was said. When we laid in bed, I lay to my right, and my husband wrapped his arms around me, and he said, my love, you know you can't tell me anything. What did the Senate President tell you? Again, I was like, don't you believe me? I said nothing.
That same person you just watched there, who was able to control herself in a sexual harassment situation involving her husband's very good friend, could not control herself here because of a mere seat.
Your point of order is sustained.
Order, please.
Dismissed Senator Natasha, please, you are not recognized to speak from there. That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges. Order 10 on privileges.
Distinguished Senator Natasha.
Any senator may rise at any time
can the
to
Sergeant
speak
at arms,
upon
please,
a matter of privilege suddenly
take her out of the
arising,
Senate.
and he shall be prepared to move without notice.
Okay.
A motion declaring that the content of breach of
Show me
privilege
the
has
session
been
that allows suspension immediately.
You have deliberately silenced my voice and the voice of Kogi Central and this crowd. You have denied me the right to contribute to worship. I have not been able to take the second reading of my numerous debates. So, Mr. Senate President, I am not afraid of what I've been silent. But I will not be shocked to the corner. I choose, as the senator duly elected by my people, I choose to remain on this seat. How what may? What you will do, Mr. Senate President, is to suspend me from sitting. And I promise you, the fact that I am suspended does not mean that I will cease to contribute my quota to the development of my people, the women of Nigeria, and Nigerians at large. Mr. Senate President, I have taken a whole lot from you. Some I don't want to speak publicly, but in due course I will tell Nigerians so how you have discriminated against me, how you have maligned me, how you have dehumanized me. Your choice of words is a refuge and in the Senate. I will not be one to bridge to the womankind, and I have committed the whole law. For Mr. Senate President, I am not afraid of you.
Make of it what you will, and I will see you in my next video.